I got the top 10 D&D gift ideas. This is for you, and or send this to the people that want to buy you something, and there you go. And I've also broken this video up into 3 different categories of physical and digital. I got book recommendations and digital resources type stuff to be able to increase the quality of your games. And then I got map type things, whether you have a physical map on the table or digital maps online, and then miniatures to be able to put on those things, physical and online. And at the end, of course, we'll talk about dice and one bonus item that I really love. So let's start things off with some physical and digital resources, bringing me to number 1, Alkander's Almanac. Of all things. I'm sorry, I had to put this thing in here because this is my biggest thing that I've ever done to try and help you guys modify and change your game to customize it to the way that you want at your table based on combat, exploration, social encounters, all the different pillars of Dungeons and Dragons. This book is an expansion to all of that. I want you to be able to upgrade your game in the ways that you want, not just the ways that people tell you in videos. I give lots of different customized ideas, hundreds of different options across every single part of the game. And I also am saying this right now because this is a limited time offer to get the hardcover. December 31st is the last day that pre-order sales are going on for the hardcover. That's the last time the hardcovers will be available, but the online digital PDF version will always be available over my website, link down in the description. Once it's finished, of course, and I get it out to all my backers first. And the last thing I'll say about this is I also am doing a 25% sale up until the end of the year for this holiday spirit thing on my website with all the different PDFs I have available over there right now. I have dozens and dozens of PDFs over there, including sneak peeks to Alkander's Almanac, full-blown planes of existence, different homebrew rule systems, wild magic systems, lots of different stuff, so go check that out. Time out real quick for a disclaimer. There is no sponsor to this video, apart from Alkander's Almanac. I guess you could think that's a sponsor. But all of these are 100% my genuine recommendations of what I feel like helps my game tables the best as possible that you can have for yours or the people that love D&D in your life. I use and have literally all of these things. I just want to share them with you, that maybe they can help you out too. But getting back into this list now, and the top link of the description is going to be my Amazon shop link. It is an affiliate link, but it has a list of every single item that I'm going to go over in this video and more. I constantly keep that thing updated with different things that come out and a constant list of a little wish list that you could have for yourself. And there's also chapters in this video organized and individual links all the way down through the description, trying to make this super easy for you guys. So number 2 are physical D&D resources. You can buy these online on D&D Beyond as well, but these are physical books from Dungeons & Dragons officially released content. These are my favorites. In general, if you have players out there or players that want to become a Dungeon Master, an easy go-to is the Player's Handbook and the Dungeon Master's Guide. Those are super simple, easy ones. I personally don't recommend usually the Monster Manual as much because I usually make up all my own monsters, but if people aren't familiar with that, the Monster Manual as the core trifecta is a good go-to as well. But if you want even more options, my favorite 2 books are Xanthar's Guide of Everything and Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Those are my favorite 2 books. They have a ton of different, it's the homebrew spirit of this channel. Lots of different options for players and dungeon masters to be able to take their games and run with it. Which brings me to a really cool rules expansion gift set that Dungeons & Dragons is just releasing. If you don't already have the 2 books I mentioned, this is a great place to pick them up because this gift set includes Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, Xanthar's Guide to Everything, and this new book that looks really interesting. And I already said I'm not really a big fan of the Monster Manual and everything because I make up all my homebrew monsters, but this also has Monsters of the Multiverse, which is a brand new book with 250 monsters that have all been updated. They are not just very bland and boring monsters that just multi-attack and that's what they do. It's health and armor, blah. Looking at the sneak peeks to these things, these monsters really do look upgraded and look like more fun to run as a dungeon master. So this is going to be a great set. It is a little pricey, but it is a great combination of all things that you would want for a rules expansion, just like Alkander's Almanac. Great package deal there. Just get them all together. Sorry, I had to say it. And I can't forget to say this one. This is one of the brand new books that Wizard of the Coast came out with. It's Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. It's Dungeons and Dragons, a whole book on dragons. I really do love this thing, and it's been really cool to dive through and really, if anyone's going to think about running dragons, you want to pick up this book. And if you're looking for adventures to be able to dive into of someone who's already been running adventures and they're a little bit more experienced of a dungeon master, if they're not, I have some recommendations here in a second. But the 3 adventure modules that you could pick up, and again, disclaimer, I have not ran these all the way through. This is just from me being in the space, talking to a bunch of different people that have, trying to reach out to people that have ran these, get some sort of big picture of my recommendation of adventures. Curse of Strahd, Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Those are the three, really in that order, that I'm going to be wanting to run myself here sometime soon, once I have the time to run a second D&D game apart from my own homebrew one that I have going right now. But these are really cool, and if your Dungeon Master doesn't have it, maybe you buy them one as like a little nudge to get them to run it for you. And all of that leads me to number 3 on this list, especially for those people who are new to the game, because I would say most people, and we're getting more and more people that are interested in this hobby, are new to the game. You can pick up the starter set for like $12 on Amazon, and the link's down in the description. And there's a second essentials kit for a brand new, super beginner friendly. They have beginner rule sets. They have the whole thing's laid out very, very clearly. I have ran the starter set, and then a little bit ways through it, I went into off the Homebrew Deep End and just did my own thing from there. But this is a really great and really cheap gift to be able to give anybody who loves D&D in your life. Or Dungeon Masters, you could give this to one of your players, and then they could run a game for you, and you could be a player for once. Number 4 now is third-party books. These are not associated with Wizards of the Coast. They're not full-blown adventures, and sometimes they don't even have to do with actually playing the game. But first up is Table Fables. I have used Table Fables since before I'm doing YouTube, since towards the beginning of all of this D&D stuff. Hold up, they're right here. Here's the whole set of Table Fables. I got them all right here. This is the first book of the 3, and then this one helps with world building, and this one is literally 1,000 magic items. Some of my favorite roll tables in here are the weird ones in the miscellaneous section, like a disease generator, dreams, nightmares, random tarot cards you could draw. And then of course they have stuff about magic items, the world around you, different characters, NPC creation, all randomly generated, helping that brain get going. Then there's the Young Adventurers collection, which is really starting to speak to me now. I have a 1.5-year-old, so he's not quite old enough to get it, but it explains lots of the different stuff about D&D without any sort of number crunchy math. It just talks about the different monsters. You could actually read this. I've read different parts of these monsters, and it's inspired different homebrew mechanics or different ways that they would think and operate. Which then also leads me to the adult version, not the adult version like that, but the regular D&D version of Monsters Know What They're Doing. That's another great book. I've never seen any book written like that, of just a tactics book of monsters to really make them feel like monsters. Nope, I went to go get these books out of my kid's room, but he's taking a nap right now while I'm filming this video. So the next one is the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of D&D. This has nothing to do with the game itself, but there's a ton of really awesome things in there where there's a letter for each type of thing, like T for Tarask or whatever. Really cute and cool, and once my kid learns his ABCs and numbers, it'll be really awesome to have that book help him. Number 5 now are physical battle mats. These things are absolutely amazing. For my entire life, I had grid paper. I as a math teacher, I took grid paper, ripped it off, laminated it, and was using that. Or you can get tons of different battle mats. There's a ton over on Amazon. I'm going to have those links in the description as well. My new favorite one, though, that, oh my gosh, has made my game prep easier, my life easier, they look beautiful, is Loki Battle Maps. This is the Dungeon of Battle Maps Volume 1, and as soon as you open it, it's a game map. Now, this might not be very big, but that's fine. Sometimes battles don't need to be that big. And if you keep opening it up, there's actual entire dungeons, there's forests, there's everything, different types of environments in here. And if you get the Volume 2 book, which is right here, and you flip to the same page number, 22, these match up, and you actually can have these books match up together. And then boom, you got your whole big battle map right there. You didn't have to draw anything. And there's also a giant book of battle mats, and you guessed it, you open this thing up, boom, it's a full-blown battle map right there. There's a city, an entire cityscape. This has been an absolute game changer for me with a bunch of different things that help me with game prep, different jungles out there, and on the back there's a whole picture with all the key to be able to flip to it quick. So literally part of my game prep would just be looking at the back of this, seeing what thing fits to where they're going to be maybe going, and I just write down the page number and I'm good to go. But of course I still do use normal battle mats for those very specific type situations. This is a classic Green Forest one. On the back side it's a dungeon. These are amazing. I used these for years before I found out about Loki battle maps, but I still use these regularly, especially if my certain map has a very specific things, certain parts of combat, or it's a really big deal. And here's an example of that right now with my beautiful drawings of some water with ledges on it. And on the back side, it's a white map with some blurbs. And then here's a river with some so this is also maybe why I use Loki Battle Map. But links for all of these are also in the description with some really great bundles where you can pick up a bunch of these double-sided mats with pre-made terrain, which just makes it a lot better. If you're in the forest, grab the green one. If you don't know where to do, there's ice ones, there's a beach one, there's tons of different ones out there. All those, of course, like everything, will be down in the description. Number 6 is digital battle mats. If you can't play in person, you're playing online, there's a lot of different things out there. My favorite 3 things that you can get are Incarnate, to be able to custom draw some maps, Dungeon Draft, which is pretty cool. I haven't messed around with that one as much, but it's definitely helped me out in some of those times, like I was saying a second ago, about making custom sections, because I usually play on Roll20 is my third little digital thing here. I love Roll20. It's what I have. I have an entire video of a beginner's guide to Roll20, which was me going along the journey of figuring out Roll20 for myself, that you can also do as well. But I will say these might be kind of weird to buy for somebody else because I don't think that they have a gift card type of thing they can do. If I'm wrong about that, leave me a comment down in the comments. But you could always say, write someone Roll20 and then you just reimburse them, give them some Venmo, PayPal, I don't know. Or your gift to someone might be sending them this video so they learn about these 3 things, and you can use all of those that I just said for free and then go get some Google images and be able to find it and run for your home games just fine. Number 7, now we're getting into miniatures. And this first one, you might not know about this little hack I have here. All of these are available in the section of cheap minis over on my Amazon shop. But it's a D&D board game. I do not have a lot of money to be able to buy miniatures and stuff as I'm trying to do this and while teaching and all these other things got going on. A lot of these miniatures have came from board games. These D&D board games. This board game is about $50, maybe $45 if you can find a deal on it, and it has like how many minis? 42 heroes and monsters in this thing, including a red dragon, which is right here. I've just spray painted it black and put a zenithal little burst of white on top of it, so it's not this like red plastic mini, because that does, oh, you can see on the bottom it's a little bit red, but they come up as colors. I just paint them and they have no idea that they would not be a professional grade miniature, and so you can get them for like $1 a piece. There are some D&D board games that I don't have though, because the price was a little bit much for the little amount of minis that they have. So there's 4 main ones that I would recommend that are also links in the shop and stuff. For number 8, instead of buying a box of a board game and stealing the miniatures out of it, because I've literally never played that board game, is miniatures online. My favorite place to do this is Miniature Market. A great go-to gift for me, and anyone from my family knows this, is to buy me a random brick of Dungeons and Dragons minis, because I got no time to paint anymore with all this stuff that I got going on. But they have pre-painted minis you can get, they have unpainted minis you can get, they have a ton of stuff on Miniature Market for more things than just Dungeons and Dragons too. They got Black Friday sales going on every year that ends at the end of November. And 2 more things I want to say in this little category is also your local game stores. Go to your local game stores if you can find. I always try and swing by there, kind of poke around, see if I have some miniatures, and then after I leave the 2 local game stores that I have, whatever I can't find there, then I'll buy online. It really does help these people in this day and age of all this stuff going online to kind of help them out some, so I feel for them, I want to do that. And which leads me to, you can go to Etsy. There's a ton of miniature creators that are 3D printing all kinds of stuff over on Etsy. I really wanted to make a video where I dive into Etsy miniatures and find and order a bunch of miniatures from a bunch of different places and get them together and find the best one and try and make a video to help you guys, because there's so many people on it. So comment if you want to see that, and I might make that video to kind of help you guys out there. And now number 9 gets its own category. It does have to do with miniatures, but these are literal custom miniatures from Hero Forge. They also have Black Friday sales going on to the end of the month and everything. And if you use code EPICLOOT, I think you get a discount on it. I'll have all that updated in the description, make sure it's all accurate and stuff. But these things are truly customizable minis that you can get and print them off just individually, paint them yourself. You can print them off in 3D color, which is what I did for my last campaign. I'll have pictures of those around. What I did is I sent links to Hero Forge to all my players. They made what their version of their character looked like, sent it back to me. I kind of polished it off, tweaked some stuff around, and then bought them for them. But maybe you as the player in your group want to buy miniatures for the entire table. That'd be a super awesome gesture, or as a dungeon master, whatever. And you can get individual files and print them all off. If you're going to do it, the Black Friday sales really are the best time to do it, but I've absolutely loved these things for my players and seeing their faces light up when they look at them up close. Number 10, of course, I could not give a gift giving video. This technically, I should flip this whole list around, and this should be number 1. Are dice. I have curated through all of the internet of Amazon to find you guys the best possible dice options that you got. I got extremely cheap options where you can buy like 20 sets of dice for like $20 almost. It's crazy. Because who doesn't want more dice? And you can buy this set and give individuals out. You can buy a set of 20 for no money at all, really, and then go and give them out like candy to all your D&D friends. And I also have links to some more high quality dice and even metal dice. And of course I got some purple dice in there. And the bonus final, this is technically the 11th item here, is a black sand hourglass that always sits behind me in these videos because time is precious, right? This thing I have thrown down at the game table before, and as soon as this thing hits the ground, they don't even know what time, how much time is that? Is it 5 minutes? Is it 3 minutes? Is it 10 minutes? I don't even know. But sand timers in general are really cool things for a dungeon master to throw down the table, and this is my favorite quality one. There's a bunch of different ones out there, but this one's just really cool. I also have these sand timers that have 1, 3, 5, 10 minutes, different little ones I can throw down as well, but this is the scary. And the last bonus honorable mention is Dungeon Coach merch. I just updated my Dungeon Coach merch shop to be able to get some stuff ready for the holidays. For anybody that wants to kind of pick something up, it's kind of weird to kind of have merch at this point, but I've had a bunch of people kind of ask me about it. So I updated the whole thing, overhauled it, looked really awesome. I got some stuff coming in for myself too that I'll be wearing in the next couple videos. So happy holidays, happy birthday for whatever you got going on. That top link in the description is always going to be 100% up to date with everything that's going on here. It's also another way to help support the channel and what I do here. Those little affiliate links, I do get a small kickback from whatever you buy on those things. So make sure you do use those whenever you go to your shop. You can always go down there. Oh, I want to get some... Use those links any time of the year. And think about this too. Maybe you join my Patreon for your Dungeon Master as like a thank you to them, because you get all these resources, share them with your group. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a cool subclass. So anyway, until next time, stay creative, think outside the box. Peace.